everyone and welcome back to Do You Even CSGO, the fast-paced tip series where I take precious minutes out of my day to educate the unwashed masses, or silvers as they're also known. This week we'll be covering communication, so put on your headset and listen up. In a highly competitive team-based game like CSGO, communication is absolutely paramount if you want to succeed, because unlike in more casual shooters, it's almost impossible for one player to consistently carry the team to victory. This might be news to all you sick aim stars out there, but silently dropping 30 frags by baiting your teammates and narrowly losing every single clutch round doesn't mean shit if you go on to lose the match. So please, pull your heads out of your asses and start working with your team. As for the rest of you who are a tad less selfish, don't lose hope. I know it's hard in matchmaking when 40% of your team are quieter than a graveyard, one player seems to have swallowed his entire microphone, and the remaining guy starts throwing a tantrum the second you lose the pistol round, but having even one person on the team giving clear info and encouragement can make all the difference. The single most important aspect of communication in CS is giving info. Encouragement and compliments are nice and all, but it's the cold hard facts that will actually win you the rounds. These include the position and HP of enemies, what kind of weapons the other team is using, calling strats, and letting your team know when you're going to make a play or switch up your position so that they can adapt accordingly. On the CT side, you're always trying to work out which bomb site the terrorists are heading towards, so calling out footsteps, grenades, enemy players, and the bomb carrier is vital as the team tries to build up a picture of how the round is playing out. On T side, you're more likely to be calling out the positions of CT players so your team can entry frag effectively, as well as choosing which bomb site to aim for and maybe even orchestrating an execute. Calling out enemy weapons is often overlooked, but in reality it's just as essential as HP, as knowing that the guy top mid has an AWP rather than a rifle will completely change how your teammates approach the situation. This is also particularly relevant when your opponents are low on money, where you could be up against anything from default pistols and no armor to a fully armored force buy with shotguns, scouts, and rifles, so you should bear all of this in mind. It should go without saying that the best callouts are clear, concise, calm, and most of all, accurate. But seeing as 90% of callouts in matchmaking are none of these things, let's go over a few simple rules. 1. No bitching. There's absolutely no point in getting on your push to talk button just to complain that 98 in 4 is fucking horseshit and that you're never playing the game again, because by the time you've finished moaning and given the relevant info, it's probably too late already. Swallow your rage, call out the enemy's position, HP, and if relevant weapon, and let your teammates avenge your death. 2. Once is enough. It can be very tempting to repeat info multiple times in the heat of the moment, but all this does is clutter up the comms and drown out callouts from the rest of the team. Much better to keep it short and sweet. 3. Chill out, bro. The last thing you need when you're trying to hear footsteps or a bomb plant is a teammate screaming numbers directly into your ear, and in any case, your info is quite literally useless if the whole team has already muted you, so make sure your callouts are cool, calm, and collected. 4. Don't speculate. Guys, this is Counter-Strike, not a weather forecast, unless you're Yanko, that is. Either way, the point is that you should call what you see and what you hear and nothing more. Because if you say all B and your teammates get a shot in the back by a lurker as they rotate, you're going to be very unpopular indeed. Similarly, statements such as, I think it's going to be A, backed up by precisely no info, are about as helpful as a diet plan in Ethiopia. 5. English, please. The infamous language barrier can always be a problem, particularly in Europe, but unless you establish that everyone on the team shares a different language, it's definitely best to stick to English. If you're not confident or you're playing without a mic for some reason, then let your team know in chat so they at least see where you're coming from. Obviously, this doesn't apply if your native tongue is Russian, just stick to the usual suka bliating and I'm sure everything will be just fine. 6. Don't be a cheap bastard. For the love of all that is holy, get a headset with a somewhat decent microphone. We don't need to hear your screaming children or your heavy breathing, and there is just no way in hell your PC fans are actually that loud. And that about does it for communication. Follow those rules and you should be well on your way to being the perfect team player. To be honest, you can pick up most of this stuff simply by playing, but I would highly recommend setting some time aside to learn map callouts if you're a new player. I've linked some helpful resources down in the description, just bear in mind that some positions will have different names in different regions. Anyway, I'm sure you'll catch on in no time at all. Don't forget to tune in next week when we'll be going through some important game settings you should know about, and if you have any suggestions or questions, please do scribble away in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you on the next one.